The attack happened on Yom Kippur when synagogues are particularly busy. It also comes at a time when Britain is seeing a spike in anti-Semitic incidents. Last February, the UK government pledged £70 million toward a security fund for Jewish sites. Joining us now is Sajjan Goehl, International Security Director at the London-based Asia-Pacific Foundation. Thanks for being with us today.
Good to be with you.
Sajjan, from where you are, can you tell us anything more about what happened?
Well, this has already been classified as a terrorist attack. And if you look at what transpired, the police of Greater Manchester received reports of a car being driven aggressively towards members of the public outside a synagogue. And then a man was then also reported to have been stabbed. The armed response unit arrived pretty quickly, within minutes, on the scene where they confronted the culprit. He was eventually shot. There was a fear that he was actually carrying an improvised explosive device, which has proved to be inoperative, but they couldn't take that risk. And it looked like that this individual was trying to get into the synagogue to try and maim, injure, kill other people there. Two people have already died, and there are a couple others that are critically injured. So it's an incident that has definitely raised a lot of concerns because of the way it was carried out and perhaps the ideological motivation.
And what do you make of the significance that this has happened on Yom Kippur?
Unfortunately, it can't be coincidental. Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, is the holiest day for Jewish people. So you will find that the synagogues will be probably more attended than in other occasions. So it's possible that this individual did some planning, reconnaissance, mapped out the route, did perhaps check out this synagogue days before. The authorities are already looking and tracking back now to see who this individual was. I'm of the understanding that they do know who he is. They aren't going to reveal that right now till they build a picture. They're also going to assess whether he was connected to other individuals. Was this a lone actor, or was he part of a wider group? If you look at the type of attack, we have seen those before in the UK, a vehicle attack followed by knife stabbings. That tended to be the hallmark of groups like ISIS, but it's still premature to draw that connection to this incident. But nevertheless, it is a very troubling one, because the worry is that once you have one incident like this, it could lead to copycat incidents.
Well, and it's not just one incident. We've seen a rise in anti-Semitism around the world. So is this an indication of a pattern that will continue?
Well, unfortunately, anti-Semitism, as you say, has really proliferated since the October 7th terrorist attacks in Israel, followed by the Israeli military operation in Gaza. I think what has happened is this conflation of holding the Jewish communities around the world responsible for what the Benjamin Netanyahu government does in Israel, and also the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces. And this conflation has actually contributed to a rise in anti-Semitism. It's important to point out that the Jews are not a monolithic group. Even politically, ideologically, they are very varied in their views. They don't all agree with Netanyahu. Some actively have openly disagreed with his policies. And when you have incidents like this, it's actually an illustration of how anti-Semitism is being fueled by this perception of drawing the Jewish community directly to the actions of the State of Israel, which is flawed and highly inaccurate.
Sajjan Goehl is the International Security Director at the London-based Asia-Pacific Foundation. Sajjan, thank you for your time today.
Pleasure.